Guys, welcome to day 21. It's getting a bit colder where I am, where I'm in England. We've had a bit of snow today, which is what you expect towards the end of November. So I am just in my normal clothes, in my jumper, my jeans, and so we're going to just do a lovely flowing sequence today. The key to this one is just we're linking everything with our breath. So we're going to we always do anyway, but we're just going to bring it in, that we're just going to let our breath guide our movement as we flow through it together. So we're just going to take a few moments to center ourselves once more, so get yourself comfortable. And again, only if it feels comfortable, closing your eyes. Take in that nice deep inhale through the nose and let it all out on the exhale again through the nose. Unless, of course, you've been blessed with a little winter bug and you've got a virus and you've got a bunged up nose. And just breathing in and out through the mouth. Just nice conscious breaths. Having a quick body scan. Starting from the feet, working the way up through the body. Just sending your focus to each individual part, noting any sensations that may be sitting in the muscles, in the joints, in the ligaments. And taking a nice deep inhale through the nose, we're going to sigh it out through the mouth. Dropping the chin in towards the chest and blinking the eyes open to a point in front. And we'll slowly take the rest of the room in as we lift our chin. So we're going to get ourselves onto our mat now. And the majority of this, I think all of this actually, is going to be stood up. So get used to being on those 2 feet. Allowing those precious soles of the feet to take our body weight. I don't think you can see my feet, so I'm just going to shift ever so slightly back. And we'll start off in our Tadasana. So we're going to make sure our feet are hip width apart. We're going to spread those toes nice and generously. We're going to try and stack all our joints up so that the hips sit above, the knees sitting above, the ankle joints, rolling the shoulders up and back, palms facing forward, just releasing those shoulders down away from the ears. Maybe bring the shoulder blades together down the back and pulling in that belly button, engaging those abdominal muscles. Feeling the power of this Tadasana, our mountain pose. Feeling rooted into the ground. And as I said, our practice today is going to be guided by our movements. So we're going to really try and synchronize our movements with our breath. So the breath always initiates or ends the movements. And just have some fun with it. So it's going to be quite a nice flowy practice today. So we'll start off with an inhale, floating the arms up and overhead. Bring the fingers to touch at the top. And then the exhale, floating them all the way back down. So bringing the mindfulness in now, the movement only goes up on the inhale. And we want the fingers to see if they can come to touch at the very top of our inhale, the peak of our inhale. And when the exhale starts, the hands float all the way back down. We want them to see if we can reach our sides at the very end of our exhale. So one more time in this direction. Exhale, floating all the way back down. We're going to carry on this movement with our breath, but this time we're going to float our hands forward in front of us, bring them over our head, inhale. And exhale, floating all the way back down in the same direction. We're going to do that again. So inhale to float up. And exhale to float down. And if you're comfortable with your balance, you can go ahead and close your eyes as you move through these movements. Nice opportunity to self-reflect, Svadhyaya. So just doing one more of these rounds. And remember, we're not manipulating our breath. So the breath is the natural part, it's our movements that we change to correspond. So now we're going to bring the two together. So inhale, sweeping the arms to the side and reaching up overhead. And the exhale, sweeping them back down by the sides. Not forgetting that we want the movements to end at the very end of our exhale. And then with the next inhale, we're going to bring them up through the centre, all the way overhead. Fingers reach the top at the top of our inhale. And exhale, lowering all the way back down. So going back to the sides, inhale to sweep them up. And exhale, sweep them all back to the sides. Inhale to bring them forward and up. The body's finding a nice pattern now. Exhale to bring them all the way back down. We'll do that one more time. Inhale to sweep up. Exhale, sweep down by the sides. And for the last time, inhale to bring them forward. Fingers all the way to the sky. And then exhale, bring them all the way back down. So working with our breath, we're just going to do some mild twists with the body. So inhale, sweeping the arms to the side and up on the inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to bring that left hand out in front and that right hand out behind. Just coming into a gentle twist. Inhale back to centre, bring the hands back up to the midline. And exhale, twisting the other way. So the right hand comes out in front and the left hand sweeps out behind. Inhale, coming back to centre. And exhale, twisting the other way once more. So closing your eyes again maybe, only if you feel like the balance is there today. And then working with the breath, moving slowly from side to side. Not forgetting that we want those movements to end on our very end of our exhale or the top of our inhale. And doing one more round to each side. And then next time the hands are at the top, bring them together in that prayer pose, pressing the wrists together, the hands together, and drawing those down the midline of the body. We're just going to pause them at our heart centre, setting ourselves an intention before releasing them all the way back down. And there's no better mini sequence to unite our bodies with our breath than our sun breath. Getting a bit hotter now. Just going to quickly pop the jumper off. So our sun breath, as always, truly guided by our movement. I'm going to stand on the side, it might help you see better. So again, making sure those feet are still in that Tadasana stance, so ankles underneath the hips, pulling that belly button in and up, bring the shoulder blades together down the back, bring the hands down by the sides. So exclusively working with our breath. On the inhale, sweeping the arms up and overhead, fingertips or palms to touch. Exhale, start hinging forward at the hips as we dive forward, and see if we can bring the hands to the lowest point at the very end of our exhale. And when that next inhale creeps in, start moving the hands up onto the shins, coming into a half forward fold. And on the exhale, releasing all the way back down. Inhale to bring the arms around up and overhead, seeing if they can touch at the very top of the inhale. When the body needs to exhale, that's when you start hinging forward at the hips. Diving that torso forward, bending the knees comfortably, bring the hands down to the mat or touch just above. Inhale, hands to shins, half forward fold. And exhale to release all the way back down. Inhale, sweeping those arms around up and overhead, fingertips or palms to touch to the top. And exhale, hands travel down that midline of the body on the exhale. At the end of the exhale, just pausing at our heart centre, remembering our intention. And we're just going to come into the last part of our practice together, standing to the widest part of our mats now. Again, it's going to be a nice flow sequence, just hutching up my jeans. Like I say, there is a reason we have specific yoga clothes, I guess. But this is to show that it can be done, reducing the amount of excuses that we might put in our own way. We're going to take our legs to roughly a leg's distance apart, placing the hands on the inner thighs. We're going to rotate out the legs externally, so bringing the toes to the corners of the mat, but the spin comes from here, not from the ankle joints. So when you feel like you've got a nice comfortable position, we're just going to really ground into those feet. Again, we're going to do another moving sequence, which is entirely united with our breath. So the inhale, bring the arms up and overhead, fingertips or palms are touch to the top. Exhale, we'll bring the hands down the middle of the body. At the same time, we're going to send our sit bones down, coming into our invisible seat, keeping that torso nice and upright. With the inhale, sweeping up. Again, bring the fingers to touch the top of our inhale. Then the exhale, sitting in that seat and bring the hands down the midline of the body. Again, seeing if you get the movement to end at the very end of that exhale. When you need to inhale, sweeping the arms around and up. And then just continuing with this journey. Allowing the breath to be the guide. It's probably more of a difficult one to close your eyes. So maybe just keeping the gaze nice and loose, soft focus, not staring at anything in particular. Just listening to your body. Nice moving meditation guided by the breath. The next time you inhale and the hands come up to the top, you're going to pause there, and the exhale, bring the hands down the middle of the body. You're going to keep the legs straight, because we're going to challenge the mind now, because we're going to do a very similar sequence, but the arms go in a different direction this time. So this time, with the inhale, the arms raise as our seat lowers. Exhale, the hands sweep up as the legs straighten. Bring the hands close in prayer. So inhale, bending through those knees, come to sit on that seat as the hands raise up high. Exhale, hands sweep down, legs straighten. Hands come to the close in that prayer pose in the middle. So inhale, lowering the sit bones, lifting the arms. Exhale, hands float down, legs straighten. So again, just following the sequence with your own breath, doing it in your own time, listening to your own body and your own body's rhythms. And just doing that one more time. The next time the legs come to straighten, we're just going to bring the hands onto the hips, walking the feet in towards one another. Bring the hands in that prayer pose towards the chest. We're just going to remember our intention one more time. And this is a short but sweet practice. We're just going to finish off just tuning into our own breath once more, like we did at the beginning. Maybe noticing you might have a new pace, you might have a new depth to the breath. But looking upon this with no judgment. Then if you want to finish off with your 4 intentions with me, we can go ahead and do that. If not, I'll see you tomorrow. So placing one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly. We set our intention to have a joyful and energetic body. Bring the bottom hand on top of the hand over the heart center. A loving and compassionate heart. Bring the fingertips that touch and the base of the hands away from one another, tuning into our third eye center. A clear, reflective and alert mind. And bring the base of the palms to touch, opening the 3 middle fingers and tuning in with our energy field surrounding our body. We set our final intention to have lightness in our being. Bring those fingers to close in our Anjali Mudra. Bring that mudra to the heart, remembering our intention to ourselves. And here's me wishing you love and lightness today and always. From my heart to yours, Namaste. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye-bye.